It seems to me that we're really back in many ways in America. You know, you've got James Carville says the country's going to collapse in 30 days. James, take your medicine. I think we're going to be all right. We didn't collapse during the Civil War or World War II or other times. We didn't collapse during the Great Depression. I don't think we're going to collapse now, but we have a lot of work to do. There's no question about that. My next guest is Doug Truax, founder and CEO of Restoration America, one of the largest, most effective political organizations in America. Doug, welcome to the program.
Hey, Steve. Thanks for having me on.
I appreciate you being here. So what is Restoration of America?
Well, it started out in 2015 as Restoration PAC, which was just a standalone 527 federal super PAC, and we got involved in a lot of races, a lot of advertising, a lot of TV, a lot of the traditional stuff. And then over time, as we grew, we realized, that's not working the way we wanted to on our side, because the lefties had figured out the mobilization through government unions and everything else. And so over the years, we had gotten, we had gotten complacent with the whole, let's run some great ads and, hope for the best and everything will work out. But we transitioned, especially into COVID, we transitioned into a political operation that was focused more on our people, who's got their ballot, who needs to turn it in. It's that ground game of moving things forward as quickly as we can to actually win the election, not just hope for the best.
Yeah.
And so over time, we're just one of those guys that we're the outside group, and we do a lot of coordination and accountability of other outside groups. And so we're north of this last cycle reportable. We're north of $100 million in spend. So we were one of the major players, and we work with other outside groups as well too, which has been a big change for us.
So one of your subsidiaries, if you will, is the Voter Reference Foundation, and I think this is really important because it's a way to figure out where people are. You publish state and voter files at VoterREF, that's VoterRef, as in VoterReference.com, VoterRef.com. You bring transparency and confidence to our election system. That's the goal, and election integrity is incredibly important. Look, 1 in November, it's a big step forward. But the midterms are coming. And whether it's Michigan or Wisconsin or Pennsylvania, a lot of red flags in those states and several more, but those are ones that are easy to focus on, right?
That's right. I think we've got our arms around it now. I tell you what, coming out of COVID with the 2020 election and looking at everything and saying, wow, no matter how you slice it, there are a lot of irregularities going on, Zuckerberg putting all that money in, and then people just doing things that just weren't in line with regulations. And so that was the heart of it. We said, we've got to get transparency in this thing. And a lot of times the voter file in many states is just not transparent at all. It's hard to get it. They won't publish it, things like that. So that's what we set out to do, is give everybody access to it. We're up in 33 states, and actually 34. We just got Indiana done. And so we're giving people the opportunity then to create their own confidence now in the election system, because if there's a bunch of people on the voter roll that shouldn't be there, then it's just an invitation for fraud. And I grew up politically in Chicago, and I know how ugly it can get if you have messy voter rolls and what they'll do to that. So that's the heart of this, is transparency around the voter files.
So how do you do that? How do you because some states are going to make it easy and some are going to make it hard. How do you make sure you get what you need, Doug?
Well, it's actually their data. So the states have the voter files, but some of these states think it's theirs. It's actually taxpayer-funded voter files. Those are our records. There never was any privacy around who voted. There's always privacy around your ballot. And so a lot of these states have just gotten to this place where we're not going to share that with you guys. A huge piece of it has been the political class in the states don't like it being exposed, because if they have control of the voter file and they know who's voting and who to go after, it really helps incumbency and wards off the challengers who don't have access to it. So that's a big part of this as well. But we force them. We went to federal court with New Mexico, won a big case. You can look it up. And we put everybody on notice that, you can fight us, but you're not going to win. And because the law is on our side, so it's just a matter of time now that we get the rest of them done. The deep blue states obviously are the most resistant, but we have some red states that we're having conversations with, like, hey guys, get with the program. We know how you feel about this. Let's work on this together. And they're coming around, but it's an ongoing battle, but we're going to get it done, all 50 states, and then we'll have full transparency on all the voter files nationwide, and that'll be a new day for our country for sure.
Yeah. look, we're when people are allowed to vote. This has become true my entire life, Doug, or most of my adult life. If you look at Florida, year 2000, right? A lot of problems in Florida, obviously. Bush v. Gore, and all the things that followed the 2000 election in December of that year before George W. Bush was rightfully declared the winner. I mean, for no matter what they say on the left, there was never a count done that showed Al Gore winning Florida. Not one. Not from any university, not from any government agency, period. So George W. Bush won Florida, maybe by 547 votes, but that's what it is. But since that point, Florida cleaned up its elections, cleaned up what they do. And what happened? Florida's not a swing state anymore at all. Ohio is not a swing state anymore. Iowa is not a swing state. North Carolina is not a swing state. These states have become red states, and more are coming. I mean, there's the possibility if they clean things up in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, which I'm not confident that is going to happen properly, these states would become red states. And I firmly believe that. And other states, New Jersey is close. And there are states like Maine that are close, within 5 points of becoming red states. If it was done properly and you had election integrity, I believe when people are given the opportunity to vote, they vote for common sense. They don't vote for men and women's sports. They don't vote for open borders. They don't vote for, money going to Mozambique for circumcisions. They don't vote for those things. It's a crazy thought, Doug, but that's where I am.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you saw this in this last election, obviously, in Pennsylvania in particular, right? So if we hold Pennsylvania from a presidential electoral college standpoint, it's over. And to your point of what you're getting at about the cheating, there was a lot of fraud and cheating going on for a long time, mostly in the cities. So we weren't having really nationwide elections. We were just like worried about Fulton County, Philly, Milwaukee, Phoenix, and these places. But what I mentioned before, Restoration America, we did a lot of coordination with outside groups, and we had hundreds of lawyers deployed. And I think what happened is the people on the left that said, you know what, let's put up Kamala, we'll be okay, kind of put her in the basement in a sense, like we did Joe before, and we'll do our thing, and we can run the table in some of these counties. But on our side, we got so aggressive with putting lawyers on the ground that I think the cheaters looked at it and said, man, for us to beat Trump, we're going to have to cheat a lot, and they got a lot of lawyers on the ground, we're definitely going to get caught. So I think what's happened now, as long as we're diligent going forward and deploying our lawyers correctly and our poll workers and our poll watchers in the right places, it really, really cuts back on the cheating. And it goes right back to what you said. It's a center-right country. People are going to do the right thing. It could be a new day for us. This is the heart of it, though. We have to guard our election, because if we don't, then they overcome no matter how much we're doing the right thing, and the majority of people are doing the right thing. If they find a way to overcome that through cheating, then we're in trouble. And that's where we felt we were. And I think we're now on the other side of it. And, we got a great team here. We're doing great things. And I think this is a new day for us going forward. We're excited about it.
And I'm excited about it, too. Doug Truax, founder and CEO of Restoration of America. And they also have the Voter Reference Foundation, Voter Ref, that's REF, voteref.com. You can find out more. Doug, thank you for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me on, Steve. Have a good day.
Really appreciate it. There you have it. Stick around. It's the weekend edition of the Steve Gruber Show. We'll have more in just a moment.